Yeah. All right. What up? We got nice little Chiefs race on a Monday night. Happy Thanksgiving to our fellow lads out there.
Yeah. Also,
I just ate a massive Thanksgiving dinner, so I'm literally going to fall asleep mid-live stream most likely.
Speaking of the lad, how about them lads? How about them Cowboys, baby? Let's go.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you saw in the live stream I did earlier today, I said one of my takeaways is that we should be buying all the Cowboys players.
Oh, yeah.
Because
dude,
not only, Cooper Rush is throwing 26 pass attempts a game.
I know.
And they're still moving the ball on offense and stuff. And they have
that's why
coming back healthy now too.
And that's why it's so funny that we hear these media outlets like, oh, it's a Cooper
don't
Rush.
call it the media outlets. They just talk about
I have
guys
to, though.
It's good for ratings.
Oh, hey, dude. Oh, do the Cowboys start Cooper Rush moving forward? It's like, dude, if we had this type of winning recipe when Dak's been at quarterback, we would be blowing teams out 40-10 every game. If Dak was quarterback right now, with how the defense and how the special teams are playing. By the way, shout out Brett Money Maher. I mean, this guy's nailing 96% of his field goals this year. I don't know where that came from. Former Hamilton Tiger Cat, by the way.
True.
But yeah, no, Money Maher's been excellent. Anger's shanked a couple punts, but for the most part, he's been fine.
Yeah, he'll do that. He was the Bucs punter for too.
Oh yeah, but most of the time he's fine. It's just every now and then he'll shank a 31-yarder, and he'll be like, "What the fuck happened?" But he's been good. And then obviously the defense. I mean that fucking defensive front is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, there's I think there's a couple elite defenses in the NFL, and I would definitely consider the Cowboys one of them.
I would consider the Cowboys, the Bucs, the Bills.
I don't know if I'd consider us an elite defense.
49ers.
I think we can play at an elite level when we feel like it, but
I would say you guys are definitely in that top four though, because I think the Cowboys and the Niners right now are just playing unmatched ball.
Yeah, the Bills defense, the
Bills are up there
in that
too.
Conversation as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. At least your offense is starting to look, better.
I don't know. It was the Falcons. I think we should have lit them up. We only scored 21 points or whatever it was.
Which, by the way, Drake London disappointed for me, but at least we saw the target volume.
Yeah, no kidding.
You get the upper comments. I'll check if there's the tings.
Yeah, I'm actually making a thumbnail for this because I thought we had one already. So if you want
you good.
Get the comments real quick while I do that.
I'm sending this to Spicy real quick.
All right, so Hopper's the first one in here. He says, "Is it time to sell high on Hollywood?" I feel like we've answered this question 300 times, but no, I don't think. I mean, okay, wait, hold on. Want an elite wide receiver? Would Hollywood, McLaurin, and Robinson / ETN be too much for Chase? Yeah, I think that would be too much personally. As much as I love Chase, and I don't think Robinson, ETN are moving the needle a ton. I think unless you can handle much depth, I would probably just rather have.
I would
/ ETN.
I'd want a piece back, but I would definitely be interested.
Yeah, if you can get a solid if you had Michael Gallup on the way back or something like that, I think that would be
even fine. Rondale Moore,
Elijah Moore, or somebody like that. Isaiah McKenzie even would be helpful.
By the way, I'm not sure if you talked about it, but at least we saw it was indeed fact that the what's it called? That the Greg Dortch role would just go right back to Rondale Moore after.
Yeah, I did. I talked about it on the live stream this morning that basically he played all the snaps I talked about it on the TikTok that I made as one of my waiver ads. Because he's got a good role now, and it looks like what we're going to see when Hopkins comes back is that Moore is just going to be the designated slot guy, and Hollywood and Hopkins will be on the outside, which is what we assumed happened, but we didn't know for sure if that's how it was going to go because Dortch was playing pretty well while Moore was out.
Got offered Debo for ETN and Judy, but Debo hasn't been that special, and the upside of ETN.
I would much rather have Debo than ETN and Judy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think I like Judy the rest of the season, but I think you're talking high end, at range of outcome is a top 20 receiver. He doesn't have a huge ceiling. Playing as bad as that offense is playing right now, we can't really project them to get much better than they've been. I'm sure they will get a little better, but I don't think they're going to be special on offense, which is what I think Judy would need to get anywhere close to what Deebo Samuel can provide.
Yep, agree with that. Been trying my hardest to make trades today. Let's dig it. Let's go, Brock. 1-4. I'm trying to sell Kamara since his value is going to go up again. Oh,
I don't think Kamara is a must sell right now. I would say of the older running backs, I would much rather, to be honest, I would rather sell Fournette or Dalvin Cook if we're talking older running backs that had good weeks this past week.
Yep, that's definitely fair. Also, by the way, did you hear about what happened with Cam Hayward earlier today?
No, what happened?
So apparently he I'll get to like his apology, but he apparently retweeted a tweet that started off like flaming Mike Tomlin. It was like calling like, "Oh, Mike Tomlin's a fraud," blah blah blah, and like Cam Hayward initially retweeted it, I guess.
Oh,
And
really?
Cam Hayward about an hour ago, he went and tweeted out, "Okay, let me be clear when I say that was a complete accident. I challenge myself to be better and don't look to point the finger. There are losses I take personal. I need to do better. My head coach and teammates are the ones I care about. I'm on to Tampa Bay. See you Sunday."
Yeah, this will be a
You guys
fun
play the
game.
Steelers this week?
We do, yeah. Me and
That's so gross.
Amir's birthday is this week, and he's a Steelers fan, and we talked
Oh,
about going to this game in Pittsburgh for his birthday, and
that would have been sick, but I mean,
yeah,
you
it would
guys
have
are
been
gonna
really
turd
fun. We just
stomp
never
them.
ended up doing it, but I think it would have been sick if we did.
Fair. No, it would probably be a similar experience to what we saw when you guys turd stomped us, like what you guys would do to the Steelers.
I don't know, man. I think the Steelers might be a little more feisty next week than they were this week, but
That's fair.
we'll see.
Yeah, fucking Bills,
Is not
absolutely.
is Najee Harris one of the worst starting running backs in the league?
By far.
I'm not being like super like I'm being a little unfair to Najee Harris, but like he
You're
looks like
not
the most
though.
mediocre running back in the league. I swear to God,
Man, he's extremely mid. I'm not even gonna lie.
he's aggressively mid.
He see the thing is like I liked him as a prospect. Don't get me wrong, but man, I did not think like the lack of juice that he had would be like this much of a problem at the NFL level. Like,
Well, I mean, maybe it's going to be the same thing for David Montgomery, man. Because remember in David Montgomery's first 2 years, he looked like the most mid running back of all time, and then he's kind of turned a corner in his third year, and he
I
looked
mean,
a
I
lot more
guess
explosive.
he's okay. Like,
I think David Montgomery's shown like flashes of like top 12 running back in the NFL type of play. He's been a top 5 fantasy running back.
yeah, which like is crazy to even think
It's
about.
been a volume thing, but still, I mean, like he looked a lot better in his third year. Prior to his like first 2 years, he looked like a completely mid like starter. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And I mean, third year breakouts are kind of showing up right now. We got random out of the woodworks Clyde Edwards-Helaire breakouts in his third year. We got out of the woodworks Devin Duvernay third year breakout right now as well.
Dude, by the way, speaking of just like young players that are playing well, let's go to the rookies because I mean this rookie class for the most part is starting to play some ball, man.
Oh, that was my biggest takeaway on this morning's live stream was the rookie running backs, man.
Yeah.
Brees Hall, Damian Pierce, Kenneth Walker's about to go berserk, I think. Tyler Algier got more involved. Rashad White looked incredible this past week. The way they were using him, I think he's in like a perfect role right now.
Yeah.
I think you keep Fournette fresh with playing him, 65, 70% of the snaps. And Rashad White showed that like he actually is going to be trusted by Tom Brady. He's not going to drop passes constantly. I think he's a better receiver than Leonard Fournette for sure. So
that's not a high bar.
To his credit, gotten better as a receiver, but he's definitely better than Fournette as a receiver.
Thing with Fournette is he's like a good receiving running back, but he's not a good receiver. Like there's a difference. Like what I would classify as a receiving running back.
That's like one of the biggest NFL draft tropes is what you're about to explain though. Is like because everybody said that about Travis Etienne coming out. They're like, he's a good receiving running back, but he's not like a dual threat receiver.
Well, no, I don't even mean it like that. Like I would actually classify Etienne on the like flip side where he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. And like if he gets the volume, he's going to be able to do very well with it. What I'm referring to is like these running backs that don't really have a lot of juice or aren't going to like separate at an elite level. But if somebody's just going to, be in the flat and be in that trusty position and take it for like 5 yards, it's going to be a guy like Leonard Fournette. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott has like relatively decent receiving volume this year, despite being like the most inefficient receiving running back in the NFL. Like there was a point.
Classic.
Well, dude, he had a 32-yard catch against Washington. Do you want to know how many receiving yards he has on the season?
Probably like 75.
27.
What?
He had -5 going into the game.
Oh, geez.
We got a super chat here. Appreciate that from Isaac. He says, I lost Javonte last week. I have Brees, Hunt, and Gordon now. My receivers are Chase and Tyreek. I have Godwin as one of my flex players. Higbee at tight end. Who would you trade for as an RB1 or 2? I'm 1-4 on my team right now. Honestly, man, looking at the running backs you have with Brees, Hunt, and Gordon, I don't really think you need a running back 2 at all. I mean, like you never truly need a running back 2, but you have the upside running back one with Brees Hall, given his usage. I mean, he had top 10 in terms of
he's a top 10 running back for me rest of the season. He is an RB1.
I think he might be RB5, dude, rest of the season.
That's a bold claim. I think that's a little aggressive because I mean, if you can handle waiting a week, I would definitely rather have DeAndre Swift than
That's fair.
Breece Hall.
I would take him over Mixon.
I guess if you wanted to argue him over Alvin Kamara or Derrick Henry or anybody in that range, Fournette, I would rather have him than Fournette. I think that's not a. Yeah, Mixon's playing too bad right now for me to say I would take.
That's
Mixon
what I mean.
It's wild how quickly those guys have fallen down, but I mean, like Mixon's got like 2.6 yards per carry this year. I think he had a bit of a better game last night, but coming into that game, he was terrible.
Our child, fucking Javonte Williams, would have been there, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know though, dude, because like the Broncos are just such a dumpster fire that he's not getting there. It's funny that Javonte was getting the usage exactly what we wanted to see, and then the offense was the thing letting him down, and not like him getting spelled too much by Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, Isaac also follows up, but am I overreacting just to chill? I've considered trading Chase or Tyreek for Swift. I honestly would just chill. I would much rather be strong at the wide receiver position and keep patchworking it together like you've already done at running back. Like, I think those running backs are more than fine. You got your fringe top 5 guy with Breece, Hunt, and Gordon's
going to be an RB2 the rest of the season.
I was just going to say both of them can be like top 24 type of running backs. And when you have a receiving core with Chase and Tyreek in it with Godwin as your flex, like this just seems positive regression to me. Like you're 1-4 right now with that type of build at your running back and receiver spots. I don't expect you to be 1-4 for too long. And I mean, if you still are, we can figure it out then. But for now, I mean, just let those receivers run wild and let those RB2s with Hunt and Gordon.
I'm also surprised you're 1-4 because Tyreek's had some monster games so far, and same goes for. I mean, like Breece has been, really good. He's the RB7 on the season. Hunt's had some good games also.
Yep. No, I agree with that. We also got another super chat here from Aggie. Appreciate that. Lost Javonte and a hero running back. Back-to-back losing Javonte. Feel for you guys because I am also affected on my own personal team.
Also was as well.
Got offered Swift and Thielen for Devontae Adams. What should my trade targets be to go get a running back now, or should I have accepted that trade? I just want Devontae here.
I think it depends on your record. If you lost Javonte and you were still able to get to like a 4-1 record, I think I would take the Swift side though.
See, the problem that I have here isn't really like going with the aspect of going for, Swift plus a wide receiver 3. It's more so of the fact that like Thielen scares me. Like I'll be completely honest. And if Thielen wears down and if DeAndre Swift has these injury concerns, giving up an asset like Devontae Adams, who if we redrafted right now, he would probably be still, a top 8 to 10 overall pick. It's tough. I would want a different receiver than Thielen is about what I would say. Like if you can go after, an upside like wide receiver 3 shot, I would much rather go after even like
Elijah
you
Moore.
could probably get. I was gonna say like Michael Gallup.
Yeah, those are like the go-to guys for me as like upside wide receiver 3s. But yeah.
I
don't think this is a bad trade. If you're able,
I don't think it's bad at all. But I'm just worried about Thielen.
A decent record. If you're not like if you're worse than 3-3, I probably wouldn't make this trade. But
Agreed.
Or 3-2, sorry, I probably wouldn't make this trade. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
By the way, speaking of, I should be going into this week 4-1 in my home league. I lost by 2 points despite having like half of my team on IR.
Yeah.
Frustrating. And oddly enough, the decision that cost me was Everett over Njoku.
Yeah. Donald Parham kind of ate into Everett's big time last week.
That's unfortunate. At least I still have an Njoku, which, by the way, Njoku looks like a fringe top 8 to 10 level tight end, maybe even higher rest of the season.
Yeah, he's really good.
Like he's the number 2 pass weapon on that Browns offense right now, and I don't even think it's close. Like the Peoples-Jones has had a couple nice games, and obviously we hold out hope for David Bell, but
yeah, like David Bell's just getting the routes right now.
Yeah, like in terms of talent, in terms of what they've been able to do, like Joku's been like an 8-9 target per game type of player with the level of explosiveness and athleticism that he brings to the table as well.
Yeah, I do think we're going to see Jordan Addison as a Cleveland Brown this coming draft. Though I don't know why it's stuck in my head that it's going to happen for some reason. I think
they don't have a first.
Is just the next in line of like we had Olave this past year, we had Devontae Smith 2 years ago. It's just Jordan Addison's the next shifty separator. I guess Garrett Wilson kind of fit into the same mold as well. And Jahan Dotson, but yeah,
the Browns probably won't get him though because they don't have a first round pick.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. They don't have a first round pick. I forgot.
I mean, he could be what team has a high first projected? Also, the Texans would make a lot of sense to be like that long-term wide receiver.
I mean, they might just go quarterback if they have a high pick.
Well, they might have 2 because I mean they have the Texans and I mean I guess the Browns probably
they'll probably go receiver with the Browns pick, I'd imagine, and quarterback with their own.
Yeah, that is fair. Also, side note, speaking of quarterbacks, man, like one of the prime spots that everybody and their mother had for the quarterback position in terms of landing spot, man. Geno Smith is looking like a dude. Like Geno Smith, like they lost that game, man, but like I don't even know what to describe with what Geno Smith is doing right
Dude, his
now.
PFF grade is like elite. It's like
Dude,
it's in the high 80s right now.
he is legitimately pulling 2018, 2019, whatever the year Ryan Tannehill when he came and
He's like
got traded.
dude, he's gonna be comeback player of the year if he keeps playing like this.
Definitely could be, which is fucking wild, man.
Imagine what the odds would have been on that bet.
Dude,
Geno's comeback player of the year.
dude, watch the
He would have
Seahawks
even
somehow
probably
make
been
the
on the board.
playoffs. Watch the Seahawks somehow make the playoffs.
That'd be so crazy if the Seahawks made the playoffs,
dude.
I think their offense is going to get better. I heard some podcast talking about Rashad Penny is a big loss. I swear, I think their offense is going to be better with Kenneth Walker as their main running back. I think Walker's a better running back than Rashad Penny. What running back could I realistically trade for Gabe Davis in redraft? I would say as a rule of thumb, you probably don't want to trade a guy like Gabe Davis after the week that he just had, because it's probably going to cost you so much to do so. I would have said your window to trade for Gabe Davis is probably now closed, at least for a couple of weeks, until maybe he has a couple more down performances.
I thought he meant what running back should I trade Gabe Davis for? Okay.
Yeah, if you have Davis, you could probably get a decent running back, but it says what running back could I realistically trade for Gabe Davis is probably not what I would be doing with Davis.
I mean, Leonard Fournette. Let's just say hypothetically you had Gabe Davis and you tried to sell high. Obviously, like a guy like Leonard Fournette popped off, Eckler popped off. Probably not even going to work up to that Eckler Taylor. I would say
you want in fantasy right now. I don't think you're.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe Joe Mixon.
I don't even know. Like, dude, Mixon's like tough for me. I'm like, I'm holding out hope for like him to be better than he's been. But
maybe
like,
he's just a bad running back.
He might just not be that good anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, he just doesn't look that good.
Well, it's like it's like for me when you're looking at Mixon, the only veteran running back that has been playing. I mean, like I guess there's 3 total, maybe 4 like total, but for the most part, I mean, like Dalvin Cook. I'm sorry, like he had a 2 touchdown game, but like if you have him, fucking sell him high right now.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude,
his usage wasn't good,
and sure.
Like he played fine, but I didn't like get the aspect like, oh, that looked like a prime Dalvin Cook playing.
No,
like,
it was like he had like a 74 PFF grade, but it was definitely the best game he's had all season. But it wasn't anything special. I think the only veteran running backs right now that are like truly playing at their like peak levels, I think, are like
CMC
Christian McCaffrey really and Derrick Henry. And I guess Christian McCaffrey's not that old yet.
Saquon too.
So. And like, yeah. And I guess if you wanted to loop Chubb into that, but I think Chubb's not really that old either. So, yeah, I'm taking the L on Chubb. He might just be having a special season. He's averaging 6.1 yards a carry, which is absurd.
I mean, we kind of mentioned it going into the year. Like, again, we didn't think
that
it would happen.
His path, right? Like that was that was always going to be his path. And if Watson had been starting from the beginning of the year, I probably would have been fine with Chubb as like an end of the round pick. But I just didn't think Brissett would be this good, and the Browns' offense would be as good as it's been.
Dude, I fucking buried Chubb in my rankings.
Like, I did too. And I remember I got him. Man. I have an underdog team that's like my highest scoring team right now. That Chubb fell to me at like in the mid 40s, and I have like a hero RB build with Nick Chubb in the mid 40s that has Breece Hall, James Robinson, and Jamal Williams on the same team.
What would you even describe Chubb's year right now? Like, would this be 2020 Titans Derrick Henry with what he's doing right now?
He's not getting the workload to be 2020 Titans Derrick Henry. It's like a Jamal Charles type of year.
Yeah, because I mean, he's averaging like a fucking 6.2 yards per carry.
So efficient. It has nothing to do with his workload. He has the exact same workload he's had for 5 years.
And like, despite losing out on the majority of their fucking goal line work, he's pounding in 7 touchdowns in 5 games. It doesn't make sense. Because
he scored from 40 yards out every time.
He's just an absurd talent, honestly. Yeah. Like, he's just an absurd talent. And I mean, the season we're seeing right now, the reason why we can't describe it, or the reason why we can't take like a fucking lesson from it going forward, is that there's no lesson to be taken from. What he's doing right now is unprecedented. Like, genuinely speaking.
Now that we're giving him credit, watch him be terrible for the rest of the season.
For sure. But I mean, like, when we're looking at it, like, we don't usually see running backs from presumed terrible offenses. I mean, he's making that offense actually look way better than it is, to be honest, from a talent personnel standpoint. We went into the year with an expected running back in a bad offense that gets about 55% of the work and seeds all of the passing down and inside the 5 work. So the process of fading is completely there. The thing that we discounted was the fact that this guy is legitimately one of those running backs that can score on any single touch of the game.
Probably first-team All-Pro running back this year, if not
easily.
Him and Barkley are back.
He's probably offensive player of the year favorite right now.
Yeah, he's been unreal. So definitely yeah, Brock, that makes sense. I'm cool using Kamara to get to CD plus. If you can get CD plus for Kamara, I think that's a great move. We also have a super from Aggie there.
Got a couple. First one from Aggie. Follow up have Hunt, Pollard, Dillon healthy still, and Cordero on IR. Record likely to be 2 and 3 after tonight. Wide receiver cores Devontae, Kirk, Sutton, Hollywood, and Bateman.
Yeah,
and that's
I probably wouldn't trade for Swift if you have a 2 and 3 record right now.
Yep, I agree with that. Goonboy, appreciate that on the 9 sub, boys. We still have faith in Jonathan Taylor. Absolutely.
He's still one of the biggest buy low fantasy right now.
I'm
personally going to be sending. I have Kamara on my home league team, and I'm going to be trying to use Kamara to get to Jonathan Taylor personally.
RB3 for me rest of the season. I do also believe in John Taylor. $1.99 from Smooth. Appreciate that. He says trade Hunt, J-Rob, Hopkins for Mixon, P. Ryan, and Dotson. So I would want the Hunt and J-Rob side here.
Yeah, I'll take the Mixon versus J-Rob is honestly not even that far off of a conversation. And
even if you want it to be, even if you wanted it to be Mixon and P. Ryan for Hunt and J-Rob, like I would rather Hopkins over Dotson.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we got one more game that we got to be without Hopkins, and then he's back on the field. And I don't know if he's gonna be the same old like top 5 wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, but the conservative projection is he's at least like a top 20 receiver.
Yep, agreed. Yep, where we left off.
Yeah, Debo for ETN and Judy. Yeah, we already talked about that. Give me Debo there. I hate having investment in running back. Would rather turn it into wide receiver. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat right now in my home league. I have 2 running backs that I believe in, and I'm like, Kamara is an older running back. I kind of want to just hero with Breece Hall and see if I can get like a great wide receiver plus a small running back piece for Kamara. But honestly, if nobody bites, then I'll probably just hold him.
Oh yeah, I guess Arnie owns CD in your league. I was gonna say try to buy low on CD.
I texted him today. I'm like, dude, I want Lamb so bad because I have Prescott. It's like he's been waiting on my bench this whole time. I also have Gallup though, so I don't know if I want to just completely stack up the Cowboys offense.
The thing that's fucked when it comes to CD, right, is you look at his game and you're like, he went 5 for 53, 8 targets. Like he had a decent, but like mediocre game. He had 8 of their 16 combined like total throws, and he had 53 of their 102 passing yards.
Well, yeah, so dude, I thought the same thing about Gallup, but he had like a 5 for 40 day or something, and I was like,
4 for 44,
yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, like the thing is, those like 2 are so clearly the most talented receivers on this team. Which, by the way, I mean, like people might not be talking about Gallup on the waivers.
Look any more like himself this past week, or is he still looking like he's coming back?
Even last week, he looked good.
I didn't catch not a lot of that game was being played.
Well, I mean, there wasn't much to watch, to be honest. Yeah. The Cowboys were never on the field. First of all, like I want to say the Rams like time of possession was at least double ours.
Well, yeah, and one of your drives was a long Tony Pollard touchdown,
57-yarder. Which, by the way, I started Pollard on that team, so I thought I was going to win that matchup. And then he got a couple not garbage times because I guess like the Cardinals were going to tie the game. But he had the Zach Ertz, Kyler Murray stack, and on that drive it was 20-17 Eagles. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray and Zach Ertz get a couple completions. So he passes me by 2 in points. So I'm like, oh, okay, at least you know what? They're going to kick the field goal. It's going to be tie game. And at least, I have Hurts for 30 seconds here and potentially the start of overtime. The Cardinals kicker just misses the fucking kick, and I don't even have an opportunity to get those points back. So shout out Matt Amendola for if you're watching the stream, because I did. All jokes aside, I lost my matchup because of that. But I mean, yeah. I also have to see the Philadelphia Eagles win.
I almost went for the clean sweep in my so I'm in 2 dynasty leagues that I'm competing in. The rest of my dynasty leagues I'm productive struggling or whatever. And then I'm in 3 redraft leagues, and I went 4 for 5 in my redraft leagues this week. The only one I lost, I'm assuming Spicy Hot knows which league that was the Big Dogs Bash. I was actually the matchup of the week. So if I won, I would have won like some signed NFL memorabilia, but my whole team decided to pass away before the games actually started. So I had like nobody playing as per usual in that league because my whole team is decimated by injury. And I also lost a guy to injury because I think I had like Rashad Penny or something also.
Bush, since when did you come back against fucking Brian Harris?
Dude, did you see how good my team was?
I didn't see what happened.
Lit up by Josh Allen. I was like, oh God, I'm done. I faced 45 points.
Oh my God, you had to lock it and shit.
Lockett just snapped at the end of that game. He caught like 2 long touchdowns or whatever. And I put up Brian Harris lost with How many points did he score?
157.
Yeah, 156 points, and he lost to me because I dropped 170. And I beat AJ in the Tone Setters League. I dropped 184 points,
dude.
And he dropped 156 and lost.
I'm praying Flet somehow comes back on me. He has Renfro and McCole Hardman left, and I'm up by fucking 32 points, but I want to lose, right? So
yeah.
I'm 1-3. He's 0-4. If he somehow takes that dub from me, I'll be pretty happy. But aside from that, I mean, I won in most of my leagues. Obviously, my home league one that fucking stunk. I crush in the FSC Patreon league, so I'm officially 3-2 in that league now. After starting 0-2, being like the highest score in the league.
Yeah, I'm 3-2 as well. Me and Flet trying to make a deal. I'm finally feeling better about my home league team too. I was feeling like I was dead in the water, but the boy Brees Hall gives me some hope now.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
We got a super here from Isaac. Appreciate that. Just noticed that. Would you give up Chase / Tyreek for Amari and Alvin Cooper?
No.
Or no?
If that's a 2 for 2, absolutely not.
Even if it was a 1 for 1 on either side, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would also rather have Tyreek than Amari plus Alvin.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe not Chase, because Chase isn't playing like the greatest right now, but I would still probably lean towards that side if it was a shallow type league.
Agreed.
Vlad, I took Barkley Kamara at the turn. Yeah, I wish I had an opportunity to do that. I wish I got Barkley went at 8 overall in my home league. Everybody knew I loved Barkley, and people loved Barkley also. Like I was like dead set. I would love to get like Barkley Adams as my starter, some shit. And I was like, that's never gonna happen. Both of them went at 8th overall and 10th overall, so I would suck with Kamara. Anyway.
By the way, Fletch not Flet, Bush. Fletch just messaged me. Bush, shout out fucking Raheem Mostert. He's looking like a stud.
Yeah, man. He looked really good for me this week. I have him on my my Patreon redraft league is just suffering the running back injuries, man. I built out a hero RB with like a very like late round focus type of running back build, and all my guys are going down because I had Javonte as my hero, and I had Rashad Penny as one of my main guys, and Cordero Patterson was my third running back. So all three of those guys are down right now. So I'm starting Raheem, but I still have Raheem Mostert and who was the other guy? Jeff Wilson I got after week 1 or whatever. So I still have like a pretty decent stable of running backs, but I could have like a really good running back core of like a 0 or hero RB if those guys had just stayed healthy.
Oh shit, Fletsky is 5-0 in that league, eh?
Yeah,
Patreon league. What are you now? You're 3-2. I'm 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay, so that could be a little battle in the playoffs.
I like barely lost one of the games. I can't remember which week it was, but I like barely lost.
Wasn't it against me?
It might have been.
Wait, week 3. Oh no, I smoked you. Okay, never mind.
No, I lost to G Shiesty last week by 5 points.
G Shiesty?
Yeah.
He got his dub, eh?
Yeah, he hadn't gotten a win yet. I lost because Javonte got hurt.
Oh my god.
So I needed like 10 points from Javonte or something, and he got hurt.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm just seeing it now. Yeah, 136, 131.
Yeah, have Higgins, Godwin, and Olave, and soon to be available Jamison Williams. Yeah, it's a pretty solid wide receiver core there.
Yep.
A lot of Higgins talk here. Higgins is definitely going to be. I mean, I can't talk about T. Higgins in the buy lows again because I keep talking about him, but he definitely is a buy low right now.
Oh yeah, dude. And I mean another buy low if you will.
Brian's in the chat right now. Has Josh Allen in 2 leagues, loses in both as the second highest score. I dropped some numbers on you, my man. I'm sorry about that.
Dude, by the way, if Kamara's gonna start peaking again, like my team might actually be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Have you seen my squad now?
Yeah, dude, I saw. I looked at your team.
Yeah, fuck. Too many fucking. By the way, my bench shout out: 17.4 from Marvin Jones, 15.2 from Josh Reynolds, 10 from Chase Claypool. I don't even know why I still have him, and 13.1 from Rondale Moore.
Yeah, I had my Tone Setter Truthers team. It's dropped 187 points, and I had like Randall Cobb and Marvin Jones drop 20 on my bench. Oof. And dude, I had like everybody on my team scored 20 points. Like Goddard had 20 points, Marquise Brown had 20 points, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Ramondre all had 20 points. Like literally everybody scored 20 points on my team.
Damn, son.
Yeah. Hey guys, got offered CD for Kenneth Walker. Oh, is that Kenneth Walker's going rate right now? Jeez.
Oh my god.
I'd take Lamb there. I love Kenneth Walker, but I'm taking Lamb.
Yeah, that's not even close, brother.
Yeah, dude, you got a really good running back core too. I don't know how the hell you have JT, Barkley, and Mixon on this team, but
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I think you're overthinking Debo a little bit. He's been, hasn't been as good as he was last year, but I think he's picking things up and he's gonna be fine going forward. I don't think he's going to be like the same level of top 5 dominance receiver that he was, but he'll still be a wide receiver 1, I think.
Yep.
Do you think there's any chance ETN can become the guy in Jacksonville? I feel like James Robinson just isn't very efficient. Most of his yards come from a few runs. Yeah, but I mean, he's been pretty good overall, especially considering coming off of an Achilles tear. I don't think they're going to go to, one guy or the other. I think they're going to continue to split these guys up. We got to remember this is Doug Peterson. Like, just pretend this is the Philadelphia Eagles backfield from a couple of years ago when they were using a committee. Like, I think that's how they're going to deploy both of these guys, and it's probably going to make them a little frustrating to own because some games it's going to be Robinson, some games it's going to be ETN.
Yep, agreed.
ESPN full PPR got offered Chase and Najee for Miles Sanders, J-Rob, and I thought it just said for Miles Sanders for a half second. I was like, holy shit. Chase and Najee for
Tyreek side.
Yeah, easily. I'll take I'd rather have Tyreek than Chase. And as wild as it sounds, I think I'd rather have the other 2 running backs over Najee. I have Barkley and Jefferson as my RB1 and wide receiver 1. So yeah, I think I'd hold the three pack of guys there.
I got a question for you, and this could sound fucked because I mean it is fucked, but Chase or Lamb rest of the season?
Well, I literally said in the live stream today that if somebody wanted to take Lamb over Chase rest of the season, I wouldn't blame them.
I just thought about that because you mentioned Tyreek over Chase. I'm like, CeeDee
Lamb leads the NFL with 35% target share.
I know.
Like, yeah, it's literally the best in the league right now. So,
dude, like that's what I'm saying. Well, like, because I remember a couple weeks ago, like that's what I was basically mentioning. Like, I think he can be like a high.
Right, but it was a 1-game sample size when you were saying that. Now we've seen 5 games of him having a 35% target share with Michael Gallup on the field for 2 games, with Dalton Schultz on the field for 2 or 3 of those games as well. Dude, so definitely looks pretty good. I don't think it's just going to disappear with Cooper Rush gone. I don't think that's the narrative. And maybe that's a narrative that people still believe and they're worried about that. And maybe you can get a slight discount on CeeDee Lamb for that. But yeah, I think he's going to be a top 8 wide receiver rest of the season for me.
Yeah, dude, and like the ceiling when Dak comes back. Oh my lord!
Yeah, he can finish top 5 or top 3 if he keeps going the way he is. Lost Lance for the season. Who would have thought to be picking up a free Geno Smith preseason would now be number 5 in points for quarterback ahead of Herbert and Burrow. Loving that he looks legit. Imagine saying that Geno Smith would have been a top 5 fantasy quarterback ahead of Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow coming into the season.
If somebody had bull predicted that, I might have blocked them on Twitter.
Literally.
Genuinely.
One thing you gotta remember about these preseason takes is that as stupid as some people sound when they say some dumbass shit, it's like football is the most bipolar sport on planet Earth. And sometimes Geno Smith's a top 5 quarterback after the first 5 games. Doesn't
dude, imagine the receipts you would have on that.
Highest scoring offense in the NFL right now.
Imagine the receipts you would have on that. Like if you had a receipt of yourself saying some fucking crazy take like that and it came to fruition, like the street cred that you would have would be fucking insane.
Yeah. I went back and replied to some comments on our TikTok when I said Saquon would be a top 3 running back, and everyone was telling me that he needs to stay on the field first. And I'm like, oh, looks like he stayed on the field.
Got a super chat here from Mariko. Appreciate that. He says, should I pick up Walker and drop J.K. Dobbins? Definitely
I would rather have Walker than J.K. Dobbins rest of the season. So yes, but I would not want to drop J.K. Dobbins. I would rather drop somebody else.
Out of those running backs, I would easily drop B-Rob if you had to drop one.
Did he list his other ones?
Hall, Pierce, B-Rob, and JK.
Yeah, 100% drop B-Rob. Yeah, B-Rob, even if he wins out the job, he's going to be at most what J.K. Dobbins is in Baltimore, and Baltimore's a way better offense.
Yep. By the way, big slate for college football this week. So we got Alabama playing Tennessee, number 3 versus number 6.
Number 6. Is Hendon Hooker playing that well?
Dude, he's been sick. They're undefeated.
He's 25 though, isn't he? So he's not a relevant person for the draft.
Oklahoma State plays TCU. Oklahoma State's number 8. TCU's number 13. NC State is number 15. Syracuse number 18. Mississippi State's number 16.
Sean Tucker's pleased with that ranking.
Oh yeah. Mississippi State's number 16. Kentucky's number 22. USC plays against Utah, 7 versus 20. And then the big one, the best of them all. Number 5, Michigan gets to play against number 10, Penn State. That'll be a game.
I mean, that's not the best of them all.
I know. I'm fucking.
Oh, yeah, we do. Let's go. Clones down this week, baby. It's going to get real in the group chat.
Oh, my God. You guys play them?
Yeah, we play Iowa State this week. Yeah. So our buddy Lucas is a Iowa State Cyclones fan. So we're going to Texas and Iowa State play each other this week. So that'll be fun. And he always talks to me that Texas is back every time Quinn Ewers throws an interception or something. But, I mean, we just literally beat Oklahoma 49-0. So I think we are back.
Yeah, dude. When it comes,
I also stand by the fact we'd be undefeated right now if Quinn Ewers didn't get hurt against Alabama.
Yeah, and then I mean, when it comes to Michigan, you don't think them boys are gonna be a little pissed off that after a 21-point win against Indiana, they dropped from number 4 to 5 in the rankings for literally no reason? Clemson hopped them in the rankings after Michigan won by 3 touchdowns against Indiana, who's a winning football team.
Is DJU going to be like the riser of the draft cycle?
Dude, I hope we play them in a bowl game. Hopefully,
I could totally see that though, because he's got the like off season like bod for like Senior Bowl combine throws and stuff like that. Could you see DJU being a first round pick because he went to a big school and he has like the intangibles?
Yeah, I'd piss down my leg if that ever happened.
I could totally see it though. He's playing pretty well though. Also,
he's not bad. Also, by the way, quick scenario again. The game's basically started, so we're probably going to be signing off soon. But I just want to bring this to the limelight. How is the college football playoff going to solve itself this year? Like now that because if Clemson wins out, obviously they're going to be in. Then you have the Ohio. But that's the thing. Like if you have, let's just say hypothetically, Michigan and Ohio State are undefeated playing in basically the Big Ten title game. Yeah. Obviously, it's not going to be the official Big Ten game because they'll have to play the division winner from the West. But like, if both of those teams are undefeated going into that game, and say hypothetically Ohio State or Michigan, one of those teams loses to the other by like 3 points on a last-second field goal, that's so fucked up. Clemson's got a cakewalk fucking schedule. It's
because they play in the fucking ACC. They always have a cakewalk. I'm so mad that Quinn Ewers got hurt against Alabama because I shit you not, they'd be ranked like number 3 in the country right now if they would have if he didn't get hurt because they were going to win that game.
Yeah, they would be. They'd be pretty damn.
And
high.
They don't lose to Texas Tech with him either. Hudson Card was such a it was like watching the Matt Nagy led Mitch Trubisky Bears. Like they just didn't let him throw the ball that whole game. They're like, their backfield's insane. Texas's backfield, other than Bijan, like they have like Roshan Johnson and the other guy, Robinson, the freshman is also, they're all so good. And Worthy, when he actually decides to catch the ball, is like one of the best receivers I've seen in college football a while for a sophomore receiver.
In all seriousness, by the way, I do feel bad for Ohio State to a degree because once we beat the piss out of them in the final week of the season and they don't make the college football playoff, I will have a feel for them because I would want to beat the piss out of them again in the college football playoff.
Yeah. Also, 2024 tight end class, Jatavion Sanders can be a great prospect. Texas tight end. He's been unreal this year. Yeah.
By the way, I mean, Reed Gilbert, obviously he's got a lot to do in terms of getting back into the football mindset, but if he can figure himself out mentally, like that guy's a freak of nature. Maybe he does come out in 2024. He's technically supposed to be able to come out in 2023, but like once he figures that stuff out mentally.
Who, Gilbert?
Reed Gilbert.
He the big tight end from Georgia, right?
Georgia now, yeah.
Yeah, he's like right. He's huge.
He's like 6'6", and he's got like 4'4" speed.
He's 6'8", dude. I think he's huge.
Like 6'6", 6'7", yeah, something like that. He is big. By the way, so we're about to sign off, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is indeed him, Brock. The only thing with that is I
think Ibuka's better than him. They're good. They're both really good, but I think Ibuka's better.
Yeah, they are close. But either way, I appreciate you guys, 55 of you, for sticking around for the last 38 minutes. The game is indeed on, and I do want to watch this potential shootout. So take care.
Yeah, take it easy.
Sign off.